Hello everyone, today I will tell you about the movie Anapolis. Enjoy watching. Jake came to his senses after being knocked down during a boxing match. His father gives him advice to just survive until the end of the round, but the stubborn guy went on the attack. And after a long fight, he knocked out his opponent. Since childhood, he dreamed of serving in the Navy, but something didn't work out. And now Jake works as a welder at a shipyard. And it turns out so-so for him. The father demands that the work be redone. After his shift, Lieutenant Burton from the Naval Academy was waiting for Jake. The young man has already been refused many times. But now several places have become available. Some cadets have chosen college, so they are ready to accept even a mediocre guy like Jake. In the evening, his friend tried to dissuade him, but Jake never wanted to build ships. He dreamed of serving. While drinking at a bar, AJ pointed out to Jake a girl who worked as an escort. The whole gang donated to him as a parting gift. Jake approached Ellie and said that he would not use her services, but she could keep the money. And only by her reaction did he understand that his friends were playing a joke on him. Jake caught up with the girl and told her that tomorrow he was entering the Maritime Academy and would like to take a walk with her today. But then he saw that Edge was getting into a fight, and while he was calming him down, the stranger disappeared. The father also doubts that Jake made the right choice. He doesn't listen to anyone. How will he then carry out orders? The next time they will meet is only at Christmas. Of all the things Jake was allowed to keep, only his toothbrush. Out of 20,000 applicants, only 1,200 people were selected. Recruits with rifles over their heads run in place. In this form, Jake met Ellie again. It turned out that she is an instructor at this academy. Another instructor, Whitaker, told Estrada, a Puerto Rican, that he stunk. The company commander, Lieutenant Call, looked at the new recruits and ordered one girl to step out of line and lie in a body bag. Another cadet buttoned it up. This is exactly what the mistakes that cadets will make in war will look like. Unlike yesterday's school children, Call served 3 years in the Marine Corps. He invited the recruits to complete an obstacle course. Everyone passes it quite quickly, except for the fat man, who is stuck at one of the stages and cannot overcome it. But Marcus did not have enough strength, and he jumped to the ground. Instructor Whitaker drooled and told the cadet that from now on he would call him a twin because he carried double the weight. If he does not pass the mark by the end of the year, he will be expelled. In the evening, Marcus could not take off his socks. He had to cut them with scissors. Excellent student Lou tossed Jake a ruler. The lapel on the bed should be exactly 12 centimeters. In addition to physical training, a lot of time is devoted to theory. Jake is not very strong here. He handles the punching bag much better. Although Ellie teases him and says that he fights like a girl. Whitaker found a cake from Marcus, and wiping his uniform. The entire floor is strewn with candy bars, which were given to the fat man by his relatives. Jake glares at him. For this, the cadet was ordered to clean up after his neighbor. Marcus from a small town gave him a big farewell because for the locals his admission to the academy is a big event. Lou gives advice to Jake, even on how he can wash off the push more effectively. They say that they are all connected here and must work as a single mechanism. During lunch, senior students ask theory questions to new recruits. Whitaker suggested that Jake bet his comrades' dinner on the line, since he was confident in his answer, and Cole offered their lives. Jake still made a mistake, and the cadets from his squad were left without lunch. He should have said he didn't know the answer rather than try to guess. In a combat situation, such behavior can cost a soldier's life. Whitaker is happy that the stage no longer stinks. Lou is unhappy that Estrada lied. He didn't shower yesterday, and he has to admit it. When Cole entered the room, the cadet was about to rat out his neighbor. Estrada attacked Lou and was ordered to leave the room. One of the activities is to learn how to seal holes. Cadet Riza burst into tears, which is why she received a reprimand from Ellie. Jack stood up for her, and Cole didn't like it at all. He whispered to Jake that if they were in trouble, he could try hitting the lieutenant. Jake soon saw what Cole was capable of in the ring. There were no more volunteers among the freshmen. Even Lou refused. But he earned a gold glove in his state. The guy decided to save his secrets until the boxing tournament, which will be held next semester. Jake wanted to get even with Cole, despite the fact that they are in different weight categories. Within a few seconds, Jake fell, got up and went on the attack, but a powerful sidekick sent him down for another knockdown. Jake went into deep defense, but it didn't help him. Having lost, Jake meanly attacked Cole as he left the ring. Estrada was expelled for lying. At Christmas, Marcus decided that he would stay at the academy because he was afraid that those at home might not want to come back here. Jake immediately came to the shipyard to see his friends. They all went to the bar together. There he said that one cadet was kicked out because of the shower, and 2 more because they got involved with girls. Jake admitted to his father that he was thinking about giving up on the academy and returning to his old job. Dad promised to arrange everything. After the shift, the guy saw a piece of paper with dates. It turns out that AJ had been taking bets all along on when his friend would leave the academy and return. But Jake was offended by his father for giving him his job back so easily and not trying to dissuade him. Apparently, the man was afraid that his son would be a better sailor than him. But Dad didn't give up at one time, unlike Jake. Ellie sat down next to him at the bar. She wondered if the freshman would return to the academy, but for now, some girl called him to the dance floor. Ellie decided to win the young man away from her and flirt with him a little more. After the holidays, Lieutenant Burton reports who did not return to the academy. Jake was one of them. But then the guy finally appeared, and in civilian clothes, stood next to his classmates. Cole called him to talk. The lieutenant is trying to understand why Jake needs all this. He will not allow anyone to finish the year who is not worthy of this academy. In the middle of the night, the instructors woke up the freshmen and forced them to hold buckets at arm's length until Jake answered the questions correctly. Lou dropped the bucket and will now make a forced march with Jake. A team is only as strong as its weakest officer, Cole says. But Marcus, to some extent, is even pleased that the elders took up arms against Jake. The boxing tournament will take place in 8 weeks. This is the main event at the academy. In the boxing ring, everyone is equal, regardless of rank and position. So this is the best time for cadets to show what they are worth. In the evening, Lieutenant Burton decided to check what Jake's chances of winning were. After all, many participants are amateurs on a national scale. A cadet cannot win by simply kicking a punching bag. He needs a coach, and Jake decided to ask Kelly for help to train him. At the same time, the fat man is trying to overcome an obstacle that is impassable for him. Lieutenant Burton also actively helps Jake in preparation for the tournament. The freshman eats butter to gain weight and get into Cole's weight class. Marcus is ready to help him with this, and emptied all my stashes of sweets. Jake had never worked so hard as during these 8 weeks. He also took charge of Marcus to improve his physical condition. Jake once admitted to Ellie that only his late mother always believed in him. Jack showed up for the weigh-in, stuffing a chocolate bar into himself. He is going to enter the heavyweight category. The coach reluctantly let him onto the scales. At the last moment, the cadet threw a sandwich with chocolate into his mouth, so he managed to gain the desired weight. The preliminary round of the tournament has begun. Instructors Whitaker and Cole defeated their opponents without any problems. Jack will have his first fight with Lou. The Asian walked forward aggressively, and then relaxed, opened up, and began to grimace. It was in vain that he did not take Jake seriously, which is why he was knocked out with one blow to the head. No one expected such an outcome, and Cole realized that the cadet had learned something. Cadets are forced to do push-ups in the pouring rain and at the same time answer theory questions. Jake improved his knowledge, but because of his long tongue, he was left alone on the parade ground to do additional exercises. His classmates supported him and joined Jake. During training, Ellie decided to show how to hit correctly, and of course, she suddenly found herself on top of the cadet. She almost kissed him, but decided to leave everything between them as it is. The next person Jake knocked out was Instructor Whitaker. He hopes that Cole will take revenge for him. Sailors arrived at the shipyard to inspect the ship built for them. Jake approached his father, an engineer, and invited him to the finals of the tournament. It's time to pass the standard for overcoming the obstacle course. Those who do not make it in 5 minutes will be thrown out of the academy. There will be no second chance. Comrades support Marcus. With difficulty, but he still managed to climb over the most difficult obstacle. And with a smile on his lips, he dived into the arms of his classmates. However, it was too early to rejoice. His time was 5:04. He did not meet the deadline. Jake asked Cole to give the guy a second chance, but he was adamant. Marcus is disappointed in himself. He has let everyone down. He was even given the key to the city. I wonder if he will have to return it now. Marcus asked to be left alone. Lou also began helping Jake prepare for the finals. A crowd gathered near their building. Marcus was lying on the asphalt. He could barely breathe. An angry Jake attacked Cole, blaming him for what happened. Marcus survived but has not yet woken up. Jake packs his things to go home. After all, he hit the senior in rank. They won't leave him at the academy after this, but Cole has already agreed that this case will be considered after the final of the tournament. The cadet must take his chance. Finally, Marcus woke up, and the first thing he did was ask what time the fight would take place. The guy asked his friend not to miss his chance and show the lieutenant what he was worth. Having collected himself, Jake went out into the hall to applause. Hearing the sound of the gong, the boxers began with reconnaissance. The coach admitted that Jack is his best recruit in the last 10 years, but Cole is physically stronger than the cadet, and with a powerful blow to the body brought him to one knee. At the count of 7, Jake stood up and immediately closed the distance, but the lieutenant quickly seized the initiative. He pinned the freshman in a corner and only Gong saved him. 2 more rounds left. Cole constantly presses Jake against the ropes. He became more careful, but at a certain moment he went forward and put all his strength into one attack. However, as soon as Cole saw an opportunity, he took down his opponent with one powerful cross. The blow seriously shook Jake, but he stood up and Gong allowed him to recover. He only has one more chance to show his worth. Cole decided to finish off the freshman. But Jake doesn't intend to give up. He pinned his opponent against the ropes and knocked him down. But the champion stood up and again started a shootout with the cadet. Jake tries to finish off Cole. He has 10 more seconds to do this. But the lieutenant survived and the battle was over. The authorities applauded the fighters. Despite a great final round, the win on points was awarded to Cole. Jake was supported by the cadets, friends from the shipyard, and his father, who was very proud of his son. Thanks to Cole's testimony, the disciplinary council decided to keep Jake in the squad. This allowed the cadet to complete his first year. Ellie congratulated him with a kiss. Jake himself thanked Cole for the report that saved him. He became interested. What would have happened if the fight had lasted one more round? If you want to know, Cole asked, then join the Marines with me.